please make sure that you mute yourself as the session is. All right, so good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the MS Teens webinar learning series. So before we get started, some basic housekeeping points. So as I said before, please keep yourself muted throughout the course of the session. It's quite possible that when you're unmute yourself. So please be cautious on that. When it comes to questions, of course, we encourage you to ask questions, but it would be great if you could park your questions towards the end of the session, right? So let's park it towards the end. And just in case when Perumal is doing a demo, right, and you have a question on that, you can just put it on the chat so that once the speaker is done with his session, he can go back and he can look into those questions and he can start answering them. So myself and Vijay would also be there throughout the course of the session. If we can answer those, we will do that. And if Perumal wants to answer it at the end, he will also be doing it. So that is our meetups URL. If at all you have any, I mean, that is where you would go to see the list of all the sessions that we are organizing from this meetup group. And of course, this session is being recorded and we will be sharing the recording as well as the PPT slide deck with you at the end of the session. But we highly recommend you to hang out so that you could get your questions clarified at the end of the session. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Perumal. So Perumal, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Ignis. Hey, good evening to all. This is Narsimha Chandramohan. I am an Office 365 MVP for past 4 years, and I am a co-founder of GG Technologies Private Limited. And my company specializes on productivity solutions built on top of Office 365, and we provide migration solutions for Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Planner. And in today's session, we are going to discuss or we are going to see in overall what is private channels in Microsoft Teams, its architecture. And first we will be starting with the end user experience in this perspective of a team member and the team owner, and what are the controls as a team owner I get regarding the private channels, and what are the controls I get as an IT admin for the private channels. And then finally we will be seeing how the security and compliances is provided for Microsoft Teams private channels. So first we shall directly jump into the demo. So I have logged in as two instances of Microsoft Teams. One as an Alex. This is a team member. Alex is a team member in the team retail. And then I have logged in as MOD administrator. He is the team owner for the team retail. So I have logged in two windows to provide some perspective of our private channel from the end user perspective. So first, let's see how you can create a private channel. So in the team retail, as a team member, I can create a private channel. So I'm going to add a channel. This is going to be same experience what you can do, what you are doing for creating the standard channels. So I'm creating a private channel. So additionally, here we get another control called privacy, where you need to set the privacy as private for the private channels. So once your private channel got added to the team, you need to add the members to the private channels. You can add only the existing team members as a member to the private channel. You can't add a member who is not member in the team itself. So only the members, team members alone can be added as a member in the private channel. So for the sake of demo, I'm just adding only one member. So we are done. We have created a private channel called private channel demo, and you can see it is differentiated compared to the standard channel. There is a lock icon to differentiate it is a private channel. So once the private channel is created, all my team members can start the conversations, post files, everything in this private channel. But the visibility of these messages, the team conversations, and the files that you share in the channel will be available only to the private channel members alone. Not even the group team owner can view those. So now let's check how this private channel looks for a team owner. See, I have logged in as a team owner here for the retail team. You can see this private channel that we have just created as Alex is not available here. So the reason is that this user, the embody administrator, is not added as a private channel member there. Due to that reason, it is not available. So by this way, Microsoft is providing a true privacy for the private channels. Only the channel members alone can see the messages and the files. But as a team owner, I can still see what are the channels available in my team. So as a team owner, I can see the new private channel that we have created just now. And I can see this is a private channel I can see. But as a team owner, I can only see the channel name, channel description, and then the channel owners alone, not the content. So Microsoft is providing a true privacy here. But still, I can remove this private channel if I want. That's still possible. And then, as everyone awares that for every team there are team settings. If you go to manage team, there are team settings will be available. Similar to team settings, we have the private channel settings also. If you go to manage channel, you get the settings corresponding to that private channel alone, which is somewhat similar to the team settings itself. By default, it inherits the settings available in your team. As a channel owner, I can change these settings. So it is somewhat similar to a team inside a team, but with a true privacy. So as a channel owner, what I can do is that I can say whether my team members are allowed to create private channels or not. That's the one control we get. Here you can see allow members to create private channel. This is a setting. If you disable that, your members can't create the private channel. By default, this setting is on. So every team member can create the private channels. So we have just seen the end user perspective with regards to the team member as a team owner, and also we've seen what are the control we get as a team owner regarding the private channel. So the standard channel is for open collaboration with all the team members, where all the team members can see the contents, whatever channel it can be in the standard channel. But in the private channel, you can have a closed, focused collaboration with the closed members alone. The others can't see. That's a typical use case scenario is that consider that you have a large project. There are number of channels inside that team. Suppose if you want to do appraisal for your team members, suppose if somehow set a group of managers want to discuss about the costing, how you can do that? Before the release of private channels, usually what we done is that we create a team separately for appraisal and a separate team for costing. And the IT administrator needs to maintain the membership in all these three teams, the regular project team, and then the appraisal team, and then the costing team everywhere. So due to this, the number of teams created inside Microsoft Teams got increased exponentially. And this raises the requirement for the private channels. So with the release of private channels, now you can create a private channel inside a Microsoft Teams, inside a particular team itself, and then you can proceed. and it will provide you a true privacy. By default, you can create up to 30 private channels inside a standard team, in addition to 200 standard channels. So you have 230 channels per team. And then right now, currently, you can add up to 250 team members as a channel member. You can't go beyond that. That's another limitation. And then you can add the guest that you have added in your team, the parent team can be added as a member in the private channel also. That's also possible. Apart from that, I want to show one more thing. So this is the team just we have created. Suppose I am trying to remove an owner. So right now Alex alone is the owner for this private channel. Suppose I am removing myself, it won't allow. Microsoft won't allow to remove an owner in the private channel if there is only one owner available. If there are multiple owners, then Microsoft Teams will allow you to remove any one owner. The reason for this is that we need to maintain the life cycle of this private channel. Suppose consider that this user, the Alex, has been removed from the entire tenant itself. He left the company. Or we have removed the license, Office 365 license for this user. So in that case, what Microsoft does is that it will auto promote any one non-guest member as a owner for this private channel. This is done to maintain the life cycle of the private channel. So this we have already seen. So as team settings, we have the channel settings, the private channel settings also. By default, it inherits the settings that you have provided in the parent team. The private channel settings gets inherited. So each and every private channel that you create contains a separate set of channel owners, and then the channel members and channel settings. And then this is also we have already seen. So as a team owner, I can't get the access. I can't get the content inside the private channel. I can just see the description, name, and the channel owners alone. I can't do anything else, but I can still delete that private channel. Suppose if any of the team member is deleted from the parent team, then that user will get removed from the private channel also. That's also possible. So when it comes to apps in the private channels, by default, as of today, if you want to add an app in private channels, today it supports only the tabs and connectors alone. No support for bot and no support for the messaging extensions. So these are planned for later, but we don't have the concrete date when the support for bots and messaging extensions is going to be provided. And also, as of today, you don't have the support for Planner app inside the private channel. You can't add a Planner tab as an app inside the private channel as of today, but it is also in the roadmap. So initially, when the private channels got rolled out, only the first-party apps or the Microsoft provided apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Power BI, only those tabs alone can be added as a tab in the private channel. Later, they have expanded it with this criteria. Only the tabs and connectors alone has been provided, support for provided. So this is some basic difference between the regular channel or the standard channel with the private channel. As I mentioned earlier, when it comes to app, you have support for only tabs and connectors. Rest of bot, wiki, messaging extension, you don't have support. And also channel meetings. You can't schedule a channel meeting inside a private channel. I will explain the detail why you can't create a private channel meeting inside a private channel in the later of the session. But still you can send an email to the channel as you do for regular channel. It is possible. There are some policies to manage the private channel. That's also possible as compared as we do for the regular channels. That also we will be seeing in the next session. So let's see what are the controls as an IT administrator or a team administrator gets with regards to the private channel. So I am in the Teams admin center. First, as a team administrator, if I go to manage teams, I can see all the teams created in my tenant. I can see that. And if I drill into a particular team, I can see the channels. So as a team administrator, I can see the private channels created also. So you can see this is the private channel we have just created. It is available as an IT administrator. I can still see it. As a team owner, the administrator can also see the name, description, and the owners alone. He can't do anything else. But as a team administrator, I can delete this private channel. It is possible. So I can edit the name and description alone. And then there are some settings. By default, in an Office 365 tenant, everyone can create a private channel. That's the policy by default. Suppose as an IT administrator or a team administrator, I want to disable the private channel creation altogether in my entire tenant. What I can do? There's a team policy. By default, in team admin center, there are messaging policies, meeting policies, team policies. By default, you get global policy in each of these category, and this global policy get applied to the entire tenant users. All the users by default get this global policy. So suppose if I want to turn off the private channel creation altogether, what I need to do is that in the global team policy, I need to just flip this button off. So if I disable the private channel creation, so your entire team members or entire users in your tenant can't create the private channels. You can just turn off this and you can disable the private channel creation altogether. It's possible. Suppose if you want to provide the support or if you want to provide permission for a set of users, say some 10 members in your company or in your tenant can alone create the private channels. In that case, what you need to do is that turn off this setting. In the global settings, you turn off this setting, create private channels, and then create a new policy, new team policy, where you turn on this setting, create private channels. So we are disabling the private channel in the global policy, and we are creating a new policy with the permission to create private channels. And then this policy I have created like this. I have turned it on. I have turned on the private channel creation permission, and then I need to assign this policy to the required set of users. Say my entire admin team members alone can create private channels. In that case, I need to assign the policy to these members alone. So I need to just add these users and I can apply this policy. That's all. So by this way, you can restrict the private channel creation to a set of users in your tenant. And whatever things that we done using the UI from the Teams administrator, team admin center, you can do this using the PowerShell also. I will show that. And apart from that, we got the support for PowerShell and Graph API also. So I will just demo that part. If you want to use PowerShell and to disable the private channel creation, you need to use this commandlet set CS Teams channel policy. Use this commandlet, and then for the parameter allow private channel creation, you just turn it false. You set it to false. So you are done. Suppose if you want to provide permission to create the private channel for a set of users alone, then what you need to do is that you need to create a new policy using the commandlet new CS Teams channel policy, and then set the parameter allow private channel creation as true, and then apply this policy to the group of users. To apply this policy to the group of users, you need to use grant CS team channel policy. That's it. You are done. So regarding the PowerShell and Graph API, you got the support for all the entire lifecycle management of the private channel management. Like you can create, list, update, and delete the private channels in the team. And then you can manage the membership of the private channel members also. That's also possible both in PowerShell and Graph API. You got the support for add team members, delete team members, list the team members, and updating the team members in the private channel. So in the screenshot, you can see the Graph API and its corresponding PowerShell commands. To use this PowerShell commands, you need to I think these PowerShell commands are in the preview. The team PowerShell commands are in the preview, I think. So before jumping into that, security and compliance part, we need to speak about the Microsoft Teams architecture with respect to the standard channel first. And then we need to discuss what is the difference between the standard channel and private channel when it comes to the architecture. We need to understand that. Only then we can manage the security and compliance for the private channels correctly. So everybody awares that by default, whenever you create a team in Microsoft Teams, it creates an Office 365 group in backend. So when you create an Office 365 group, you get a mailbox for that Office 365 group. You get a team site in SharePoint, and then you get a planner plan, and then you get an OneNote also. These are the components gets created whenever you create a Office 365 group. And then on top of that, you can attach a team with an Office 365 group. That's possible. So first, let's see how the information is stored in this team site. So whenever you create a team, you get the team site in SharePoint. So for example, our team name is called Retail, and we got a SharePoint site named Retail, team site named Retail. And whatever documents that I share in that particular channel gets stored in the document library. In the team site, whenever you create a channel, there is a document library created for that particular channel in the team site. So when you go come to the documents folder in the SharePoint team site, you can find document libraries created for each of the channel. So we have a channel named General, we have a channel named NC 460 Sales and Test channel. So you can find only the standard channels here. You can find only the document libraries for the channel standard channels. You won't find the document library created for the private channel. I will explain that part later. and then you will get a group mailbox also, that I have already explained. So till this point, we are discussing only about the architecture of the standard channel, not the private channel. Whenever you are making any conversation inside Teams, inside a team channel, what it does is that for the channel conversations to send it to all your team members, it uses the Cosmos DB. But apart from that, to provide the security and compliance for the channel conversations, Microsoft Teams uses the compliance backend of Exchange Online. So what team does is that whenever you make any conversations, a copy of that conversation is sent to the group mailbox, corresponding group mailbox for that team, and then there it will be stored inside a hidden folder. Uh, no one can see that it is stored inside that hidden folder, and then the complaints engine of the Exchange uses that for all the complaints purposes. Suppose if you have configured a DLP policy such that you can't, or your team members can't share a PAN number, Aadhaar number, or credit card number, like that, you have configured a policy for your teams. So if any of your member have shared a credit card number accidentally in the channel, so in few moments that message or that conversation gets stored, a copy is sent to the group mailbox, and then the complaints or the DLP engine available in Exchange channel scans for the DLP violations, and then it finds a credit card number that is available in the channel conversations. So immediately it notifies Microsoft Teams that there is a violation of sharing the credit card number. You just remove that like that. So and Microsoft Teams removes the credit that particular conversation. So if you test if you test these DLP policies, there will be a short delay, maybe some 30 seconds to 1 minute, I think. It will take few moments to detect this DLP violation. The reason for this is that it goes to the group mailbox, and then where the information protection is done. Exchange Online provides the information protection for the channel conversation. Due to this reason, there will be some delay of few moments. So this is in respect to the standard channels. Suppose when it comes to the private channels, if I open the SharePoint site created for the private channel, it will be going to be a totally different team site. It is not retail. Here it is retail as private channel 2. So we get a separate site collection for private channels. So by this way, Microsoft provides you a true privacy. So here in this team site collection, only the team members are added as a member in this site collection, and then the team and then the private channel owners are added as a owner in this site collection as owners. This is way it has been managed. And then for the private channels, Microsoft does not create a group mailbox. So there is no separate group mailbox has been created. And also that the conversations that you made in the private channels are not sent to the parent group mailbox also. The reason is that suppose the channel conversations are stored inside the group mailbox, the parent group mailbox. Even though it is stored as inside as a hidden folder, still there are possibilities using some low-level APIs. The administrators or someone who is not a member of that private channel can get access. Due to that reason, Microsoft does not possess the conversations to the group mailbox. But how Microsoft can provide the security and compliance if it is not stored in the group mailbox? What they have done is that They have sent the copy of that all the conversations to the individual members mailbox. So that is the difference. So when it comes to the private channel, by default, it creates a separate, totally a separate site collection. It is not related to the parent team site. It is a separate site collection where the files are get stored, and then the conversations are not pushed to the parent team group mailbox. Instead, it is the messages or the conversations are sent to the individual group, individual private channel members mailbox. This is how it is done. So this we have already discussed. So whenever you create a private channel, you get a new site collection named with T name dash the private channel name. This is how the private channel site collection will be gets created. And also the membership of that site collection is tightly synced with the private channel membership. Only the members get added as a members in the site collection, and also the owners of that private channel gets added as a owner in that site collection. Suppose if you want to use Suppose if you want to share any information available in that site collection, what you need to do is that you need to create a separate group or a role in that site collection, say visitor or some other name, provide some water permissions you want, and then you can share it. This is how you can do that. Uh, Before the introduction of private channels, we have the limitation in SharePoint that you can create only 500K site collections in a SharePoint tenant. But after the introduction of the private channel, this limit has been raised to 2 million. So we discussed this also earlier. You won't get the group mailbox. Due to this reason, you can't create meetings or you can't schedule meetings in the private channels. But for the compliance purpose, the copies of the conversations are sent to the mailboxes of the individual channel members. So these site collections are created using a special type of template called team channel hash 0. So if you want to get the site collections created for private channels, what you need to do is that you need to use the commandlet that I have shown in the right side, guest SPO site, and then you need to specify the template as the team channel hash 0. Use this filter and query, and you will get all the site collections created for private channels. So by default, you get the roles, the members, owners, and visitors here. So if you want to provide some permissions, if you want to share some files available in that site collection to others, use that visitors group permission, or else you can create a new one. And then suppose if you are making any changes, the membership changes in this site collection, say you are adding additional owner, or if you are adding additional members to this site collection, it get automatically overridden after 4 hours of time. So every 4 hours, Microsoft Teams, what it does is that they synchronize the membership in the teams with these site collections. So whatever membership is available in private channel, that will get overwritten in this site collections. So you can't customize the membership in the site collections. Basically the members and the owners, you can't customize that. If you want to provide additional membership, you need to go to Teams and manage that. So the final part, the information protection. So we are going to see how the information protection is provided for private channels by Microsoft. First, we will see how you can do the e-discovery for the chat messages for the private channels. As I mentioned earlier, we don't get the group mailbox in the for e-discovery. Sorry, for the private channels, you don't get the group mailbox. So how for to do the e-discovery for the chat messages, what you need to do is that you need to add at least one member's mailbox in the e-discovery for the chat e-discovery. Let's see the demo for better understanding. So I am in the Security and Compliance Center and I have opened the e-discovery page. And then I have created two e-discovery cases, one for files and one for channel messages. So this case is opened for channel messages. So to do the e-discovery, what I have done is that in the locations, basically when we do the e-discovery for the standard channel members, we select the teams. But in our case, since we are going to do the e-discovery for the private channels, I need to add at least a member who is present in the private channel. So in our case, Lee is a member in one of the private channel and I have included that. Instead of team, I have selected the individual user's mailbox. So when I'm basically searching for some credit card numbers and it will show that. So this is how you need to manage the e-discovery for the chat messages. Suppose if you want to do the file discovery, in that case, what you need to do is that it's simple. Usually what we do is that we provide the site URL, the team site URL or the teams we select here. So in the locations, what I have done is that I have provided the URL for the site collection that got created for the private channel. Since I want to do the e-discovery for the files or the content search for my files, I need to provide the URL for the site collection created for the private channel. So this is the difference. When you do the e-discovery, you need to include the individual members, at least one individual member for the e-discovery of the messages, the chat messages. If you want to do the files e-discovery, you need to include the URL of the site collection created for the private channels. So this is just a few difference you need to make when you're doing the e-discovery. So if you understand well the architecture of the private channel, that there is no group mailbox, and also for the private channel, it is going to be a different site collection. That's all. You need to have these two things in your mind whenever you come to the security and compliance center and you are making anything related to the private channels. So this is just a screenshot of what we get for the private channel e-discovery. And then the files, we need to include the URL of the private channel site collection. So I have just shared the screenshot for the file e-discovery. So currently DLP is not supported for the private channels and I don't have any dates or anything when it is going to be supported. Currently it is not available. And then the audit logs. So audit logs also, so when it comes to audit log, it is same as a standard channels or the teams. You will get all the audit logs related to the membership changes. You can see in the screenshot, you get the audit logs for whenever you added a member to the channel, you removed a member from a particular private channel, or if you have created a new private channel, all these things gets uh, logged. So basically you get all the logs that we support for the standard channel available for the private channel also. When it comes to the retention policy, so current the channel conversations, the chat messages in the private channels are not supported in the retention policy, but retention of the files in private channel is supported. So to create a retention policy for the private channel files, what you need to do is that you need to provide the URL of the site collection that got created for the private channel. So basically what you need to do is that you need to manage the retention policy of the parent team, and then you need to manage the private channels separately. So this is how you need to do. Both for parent team you need to maintain separately, and for the private channel or the children private channel you need to maintain it independently. This is how the retention policy works. And then the sensitivity labels. So by default, if your team has been applied with the classification label or the sensitivity label, suppose I have applied a label called internal in my parent team, it get applied for my private channel also, and same way for the site collection also. So the whatever label has been applied in the parent team, that get applied for the private channel site collection also. And then this is the screenshot. You can see for the private channel, we have a label applied named internal that got applied in the parent team also. And then for the site collection, the private channel site collection, you can find a same kind of label called internal, which gets applied. So, and finally, this is my final slide. And finally, I want to speak a few moments about the life cycle management. What happens when we make some team actions? Suppose if you are deleting a team which contains a private channel, what it does is that all the private channels and its site collections also get deleted whenever you delete a team. Suppose if you are archiving a team which contains a private channel, in that case, the whole team along with the private channels also get archived, including the site collections in the SharePoint. Suppose if you are restoring a team or which contains the private channel, in that case also the private channel gets restored, and also the site collection which got created for the private channel also get restored. So this is what I have today. Whatever I have discussed today, that is available as a blog. And also, if you want more details, if you want to explore more on the private channels, you can follow this URL, the private channel docs in the Microsoft site. Thank you, and we can have the Q&A now. And before moving on to the Q&A, I want to share one thing. We have created a LinkedIn group called Microsoft Team Learnings in LinkedIn. Please join this group. So suppose whatever questions you have related to Teams, you can post it there. It is not needed to private channels. Whatever it can be, you can share, you can post your questions there. Any one of us will try to provide solutions there. Whatever problems you face, if you need clarifications, whatever it is, you can have the conversation carried over in the LinkedIn group. Please join the group. Thank you. I will check for Q&As in the chat messages now.
Can you just copy and paste that link in the chat window?